better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy, what? About too hard, ayy, what? About too hard, ayy, about too hard.
I've been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side, I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see.
Hello everyone and welcome back to ESEA Premier Sprout versus Sangal. This is the map 2. Sangal have nabbed Sprout's pick of Dust 2 away from them, and now we go into Sangal's pick of Inferno. And I think they should be feeling very confident about this game for sure. They have a fantastic start in this series now to work with. I would say Sangal need this victory more than Sprout do in the state of their current Premier hopes. We're going to put Sprout down to 2-2 if they do lose this one. Sangal will get their first victory and be up to 1 win and 2 losses. So this is one that's certainly needed by Sangal more than Sprout. So they'll be very happy with their start. But now we get to see how this second map pans out. Spiddy has got the flashes primed. If they decide to go towards the top of Banana, and Major will be the only player to be there. So there goes one flash to try and help out against this position. But he's just selling the fake. Look where Sangal are on the map right now. A couple of smokes, a couple of flashes, still a grenade as well. I'd imagine for Pit, something like that. And now they're going to advance toward the attack. It's going to be a massive brawl here towards short. There's players from every which angle. Major and Soulfly gets the first 3 entries though. 2 for Soulfly in the end. And that completely clears out everything on the defense for Sprout. Raz gets 1 in return, but he realizes that once again, I believe exactly like he did on map 1, he has to fall back and save his Kevlar, so we can get a $350 helmet upgrade in the next round. So Sangal will win another T-Pistol, but don't forget, they won the T-Pistol on Dust 2, then lost 7 rounds in a row. Of course, then they did win 11 rounds in a row to lead 12-7, but still. It's another good start for Sangal. If they can get through this force by this time, then they'll be even more set. I would say that perhaps a force buy on Inferno is even more dangerous than a force buy on Dust 2. Despite the fact Scouts will be a little bit more viable on Dust 2. Sensei's bought a Scout of his own as well. He loves that Scout on the second round. He buys it whatever map it is. He doesn't like a Mac 10, Sensei. He loves those sniper rifles. Proper dedicated sniper for the Turkish team. Of course, Austrian boy himself. And 4 deals and an MP9 rails, once again getting that head armor as I mentioned with the SMG. Exactly the same. Carbon copy of Dust 2. And will it be a carbon copy result as well? Sprout did win this round in the previous map. They need it again, to be honest. Paz will get 1 on the entry though, keeping up his form from the previous map, and Cressy's going to catch the timing from Major. 2 beautiful headshots from Major, and that overcomes that mid play from Sprout. That's 3 incredibly important frags, actually. And Major will get away with it on 8 HP, so that means with just Rouse and Feven left, they again will have to save, and Sangal will confirm the 2-0. That is a lovely shot from Faven, but unfortunately, he's getting pressured from another player close up as well. That is Soulfly. He desperately wants the gun. He's got it, but it's obviously just that Mac 10. This would be a very good save, though, for Sprout if they're actually able to save these 2 guns. The MP9. Faven can obviously drop his Deagle to a teammate, or drop his Mac 10 to a teammate. Depends which. Soulfly will recover to the kitchen. Think about what meal to prepare later on tonight once he's won this game. Perhaps. Sangal will have their 2-0 lead. The Eagle is dropped over to Cressy. Faven will keep that Mach 10. Up a smoke as well. Sprout keeping around 2.5k per player, so not too bad for the next round for sure. A little bit of a mid-stack here for Sprout. 4 players this time with this P250 of Spiddy as well. Spiddy's been around and about the scene over the years. Played in majors, of course. He'll have the experience to perhaps help Sprout out here on Inferno. Everyone plays Inferno in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I can't think of one team that has Inferno as a proper permaban, to be honest. In comes the Mach 10, perhaps looking to try and do something here. Cressy should get this headshot and does. Soulfly will not get away with any frags on this round. And Paz can only get the 1, make that 2, or make that 3. Paz once again starting off strong. What a great series this could be, because Engine has also crept around the back of Cressy. Now it's all down to Faven on that Mach 10. 1 kill would be delightful, just for a bit of money. So they can switch from the Scout to the AK and grab the bomb as well. And they actually are going to commit toward A, so they are walking into the Mach 10. Could be a little bit scary. How many frags can Faven get in this situation? He's going to hide toward the site. It would be probably best to just hide rather than actually play an angle. Yeah, I feel like in that situation you have to hide rather than hold an angle with the SMG. You have to be mobile with that Mach 10, whether you're on T or CT. And if perhaps he gets 1 kill on the close box on the edge of the site and then jumps around for a second, because obviously the Mach 10 is pretty accurate mid-air. You know, who knows what could have happened. But no kill bonus for him. Sangal will get away with their clean 3-0, and Soulfly will stick to that Mach 10 as well, expecting there to be not many helmets on Sprout, and he'd be right. The majority committing to just the Kevlar. Might as well chuck in his smoke toward long. He was already at a 4-1 start for him, so, you know, that's pretty handy. I'll be fascinated to see what his overall KD is after this series is over. And we're going in for a fast play toward apartments here. Slacks on the AWP, a little bit half blind, but he will catch that Mach 10 of Soulfly, and Raoul's will catch Major working his way toward Arch as well. So that sort of cancelled Sangal's idea here. They're still keeping around the A site, but they're not going to burst out apartments as it looked like they were planning to do so. Sensei in position with his AWP, but the problem is he's got a player in pit and 2 on site to clear out, and you just can't do that with an AWP. You need some rifles and support. He's got 1, and he's about to get a second as Paz rotates back up middle to help his teammates. In comes a few grenades, in comes the flashes, and Sangal are going to pick the A site. Cressy and Spiddy have a crossfire, and they're refusing to budge. With 24 seconds to go as well, Paz could get caught on this angle, and we will do. Riles catches the timing. Paz will go down, and now it's all down to Sensei. Still alive. It's all down to Engine. And even though Sensei did get that 1 frag, that is all Sangal could manage on this round. So Sprout have done well. They've won their first buy round. That's exactly what they needed to do in this series. That was basically a must-win on a round like this, to be fair. Now they have a chance after winning that round with the majority of their players alive as well. Good for that CT economy. Something to work with for sure. And some aggression towards a banana as well by Sprout. Oh, Riles, he does well to get the second in the end. Just recovers his spray transfer with the help of Faven's flashbang, of course. The good old-fashioned flash. It can be so hard to counter sometimes. That's a fancy grenade banked off the skybox. It does decent amount of damage to Sensei and Soulfly as well. I tend to use that grenade myself as well, so it's always interesting seeing exactly how it's used. Silence falls across Inferno as Sangal creep the bomb up toward B. Smoke is deployed on the CT side of Sprout. Oh, so much damage in the final portion of the spray towards Spiddy. That is absolutely remarkable. Sure, Sangal is still in a 3v4 and time is now not their friend, but that's not good. If they do have to retake this site, they are going to be going back toward A. They've split it 2-2 right now with Sprout. So they're gambling. They can at least go 1-for-1 on all of these kills. Major jumps in toward Pick. Can he get an entry? I think he knows where Cressy is. And in the end, it's actually Soulfly to go 1-for-1. Or Cressy to go 1-for-1 when Soulfly can trade him. Slacks up close on the site. That actually drops the bomb on the site. And with Major in pit, they knew that already. He has no time to grab this bomb. He'll get taken out by Favan rushing through that Moto smoke. And Sprout are starting to look good again. 2 in a row on CT. It puts Sangal on an eco. Slacks with possibly the calmest no-scope I've ever seen. Just behind default there. In the end, he was low, so he could have easily just pulled out his pistol anyway, but all doesn't matter. Sangal fast toward Banana again. Ruz going to get caught with a grenade out here. Soulfly holding W with the Tech 9. That can be so powerful on a map like Inferno. And Soulfly is not just holding W with the Tech 9. He's holding W with the recovered AK as well. Unfortunately, so much damage is being done by the MP9 on the flank. Now it's down to Soulfly. Oh, he gets one more, but the collateral. What on earth happened there? Slacks takes down Cressy while taking down... while taking down Soulfly as well. And after all that, Major on 1 HP is going around the world in this 1 versus 1. What a weird scenario. And when I say Major's going around the world, he is truly going around the world. Unfortunately, he's making a bit of noise now, and I think it's being heard by Slacks. There's the clue. You see him move his crosshair into that position. He's heard the idea. Major's still looking for it, but Slacks is too well positioned here, surely. There's no way you get an instant headshot from this position if you're Major. He's tried his best, bless him. Little did he know he could just go back to a banana now and grab the bomb for free, but there it is. Slacks has the angle. And after some proper madness, a situation I don't think we'll ever see again, Sprout just about get away with the third and even the scoreline again at 3-all. That's a collateral for the ages, you could say. More aggression for Sprout down below this time. Major will eat a little bit of that grenade. He doesn't have a helmet himself this round on the T side, and that can always be dangerous up against the M4s and the MP9s and the AUG, of course, on Spiddy. Sprout are committing to the double AWP though this time with Favan and Slacks, and that can be risky on a map like Inferno because, you know, if you lose the site and have to retake, it's basically impossible. Sangal again have Soulfly on the Mac 10, bless him. He's almost like the Sanji of this team, isn't he? Obviously, vs.Pro, they love putting Sanji on the SMG. That's a really important pick though for Major. Look at what it's done to the rotations of Sprout. It's sent 3 players over toward B. Goodness me. That's a secondary AWP on Favan taken down by Major through the wooden panel there. And they're just going to pounce toward A here. And it's only Cressy here. He needs to go above and beyond in this situation. 4 toward long, 1 toward apartments. He's going to be split as well. How many frags can he get? Surely barely any. He gets 1, but it's a jumping Mac 10, and that's all he can do. Soulfly, sure, he doesn't get a kill, but he's done his job there. And Major, that 1 kill toward Banana, rotating those Sprout players back toward B. It's 2 frags that are absolutely key. And it's 2 frags which changed the round. I mentioned Soulfly will be the one jumping in. That was exactly that. That meant Cressy could only get the one. Of course, Sprout have been able to recover that secondary AWP and will have it into this next round as well. But Sangal will retake the lead for now. Another chance for Sprout to make these double AWPs work. I'm not sure if Favan will be around and about the car position again after Major predicted him there in the previous round. And it was, as I said, that frag from Major which basically won them the round. I mean, the rotations it caused were absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it was only Cressy on the A site. More spray coming in from Major. Again, cheeky damage to Riles. Has toward the boiler position, takes down Cressy. That's another dual one for him, up to 6 and 3 so far. And that forces Slacks back away toward the site. The swap will come in as Paz is obviously low HP from that duel, 28 in fact. And that might give him a chance because we've seen him basically win 2 rounds single-handedly with the AWP earlier on Dust 2. One on B site, one at top mid. Paz deploying all his utility as he's low as well, looking to try and take a duel toward the top of Banana. Favan is in position though. Can he get his number this time? Actually hits the shot toward Major. Bit of a warning one there. But he can't gain revenge just yet. There's Slacks. Takes Sensei down on the rifle. Soulfly with a teammate looking to try and trade it. He'll go jumping straight in again. Just a pure jump from Soulfly. And that means Paz can be helped out as well. Because Slacks has to move. And the jump from Soulfly is going to win Sangal a 5th round here. That is gorgeous stuff. Of course, the positioning wasn't too wonderful. But still, for it to work out like that is possibly the best Sangal could have hoped for. Paz eventually does get that second frag on that swapped AWP, and he's up to 7 and 3 now. Combine that with what, 39 and 16 was it? 39 and 14? I don't remember. That was like Soulfly just dropped his mouse then. Did you see the way he moved his mouse? That looked exactly like someone dropping their mouse on their mouse mat. You know, when it like spazzes out a little bit. But yeah, it will be a 5th for Sangal, and Soulfly is once again blessing on a Mach 10. And he hasn't even got himself any head armor this time, so poor guy. He can afford it too. But you can understand why. Because Sprout are on an eco this round. Of course, those guns that they do have are going to be dangerous. Slacks on that glass cannon still. Gonna try his luck on this round to try and make some magic happen. He did show up toward the end of Dust 2. He had a really slow start, but toward the end of Dust 2 he was winning out Sprout some important rounds. But Sangal is going to go straight in toward A here. 2 toward apartments, jumping down toward pit. It's going to be absolutely the correct call as well, because there's actually no one on the A site proper. Just 2 toward long. Slacks solo toward Banana. And they're going to regroup. They're going to regroup as a 5. And support that AWP for a save in the next round. So we could be in a situation here where all 10 players remain alive in a round. I mean, Soulfly can obviously afford to hunt. They're already going to try and do so. Look at this. There's 3 toward bottom Banana for Sprout. And there's 2 ready to hunt. So we are definitely going to be seeing some duels here. Speedy gets a double dink toward Paz. But Engine responds with a spray down toward both. So that is 2 players dealt with. The M4 and AWP are still alive though. So it should be okay. Favan getting cleared out won't matter too much. Slacks is peeking to help. There's one headshot. Favan can't get the second as Soulfly quite literally Goomba stomps him down. And it like literally stood on his head there to take that frag. But you do recover those 2 guns as they plan to do so. And it means they have a decent bye in this next round, of course. Thanks everyone for the follows. I really do appreciate it. The support is I'm hugely grateful for. While this match is paused, I'll take the opportunity to say thank you once again to ESEA for giving me the permission to stream these matches. It's very enjoyable indeed. This one was a rescheduled match, of course. It was due for a different game week, but rescheduled to today. And Soulfly will continue with that back 10 into this next round as well. So he's really committing to that role at the moment. And I mean, it keeps their economy strong on Sangal, that's for certain, for the future rounds of this half. 6-3 lead for them now. And I have to say, I thought they would be superior on this map. At the moment, they are proving it. Again, it's going to be a carbon copy play for Sangal, but this time they're going to be dropping into many CTs. But Soulfly, with the help of the flashbangs from Major, the Mac 10 just still works out. We saw Flusher use that so many times. Oh, look at this play from Fabian. That's the information. Can he get a second? Raz will at least take Major thanks to that information from Fabian, but really, that trigger discipline play was down to trying to save his gun, because Sprout are off toward B to save once again. And it's going to be exactly the same situation. Two players trying to save. And Sangal again surviving with a majority alive. But yeah, I mean, we saw that many moons ago with Flusher on the Mac 10. He'd buy up just the Mac 10 when he has, literally 9,000 in the bank. And he'd still make it work on entries toward B on this map. And we're seeing that from Soulfly right now. When you've got the movement speed and you're supported by Major's flashbangs, Mac 10 can do some dirty stuff. And at the moment, it's proving to do just that. Don't forget, this is Sangal's pick as well. They did steal Dust 2 away from Sprout, so this is an incredibly strong series at the moment from Sangal. They've improved to no end, it feels like. It's fastest time toward Banana though for Sangal. This could catch off Sprout actually. Lots of grenade damage in response. In the end, it's actually somewhat even. Maybe Sangal a little bit more damage taken than Sprout in that exchange. Major though, he's going to stick around. And that takes Favan out of the round. On top of the log pile, catches him over the half wall. It can be a hard shot to hit sometimes. Often you can dink players through that. And you get around 40 damage, but it's a clean headshot this time. And once again, Sangal have a man advantage. Sprout just haven't had one in ages. When was the last time they had a man advantage in a gun round? Have they had it at all yet? Slacks has finally answered back, and there it is. Caster's Curse. Spiddy will help out towards Sensei and get a 4 versus 3 to work with. Cressy is toward the balcony position. He hears the players coming up towards short. In come the flashes. He's full white from that, but they're not checking his position. He should be safe here. Slacks gets 1. Slacks gets 2. Cressy helps out with the last. And Sprout will finally get another round on the board and survive with 4 alive as well. Important for the future of this half. Major, another entry. Goodness me, he's really had Favan's number in this game, hasn't he? That is amazing. He's wallbanged him through the wooden panel, the old car position, of course. He's headshot him over half wall, and he's just replicated it once again. Major is just absolutely owning right now. Here are the scores at 7-4. Major is only 6 and 7, and I think 4 of his kills Make that 7 and 7. I think maybe 4 of his kills have been toward Faven, so that's pretty rude of him, but also incredibly impressive. He'll swing toward that second player, toward Banana as well, and again in a 5 versus 3, Sprout have to guess. They've at least guessed right though. The Molotov is good, but Major gets himself his 3rd frag, looking for a 4th, but Slacks is there, but the trades should be too much. It's only Slacks remaining. He has to fall back toward Arch again, and he has to save again. Sangal, they are so strong on this map. I would have to say, despite the fact their stats on HLTV on this map are poor, they've won 40% of matches on Inferno. Of, I believe, around 15 attempts. It's one of their best, I think. And that's why they've picked it. And that Paz doesn't even realise. I mean, Slacks doesn't even realise that Paz is there. So that's the AWP out of the round. And of course, the economy for Sprout is still good. They'll definitely buy into this one. There's no reason not to. But yeah, this is rough stuff at the moment. If you are a Sprout fan, I'm afraid. Sangal have come to play today, knowing they needed a win in ESEA Premier, having not won one yet. Of course, Sprout are going for this buy, but again, Riles was the only player not able to buy, so the one Danish player on the roster has to make do with just the Deagle. And Sensei is already creeping up middle as well, because look where Sangal have got already. 2 players toward long so quickly. Just pure shifting in the end. Chrissy can get one, has to hide in the smoke. Somehow on the 12 HP gets a second toward Engine, and Riles, he takes Sensei as well. This is a great recovery. Riles can possibly deal with Major as well. He still only has that deal, but he desperately wants that AWP on the ground in front of him. Needs the duel, and he wins it. That is big. Now it's all down to Soulfly in a 1 versus 3. Not often we've seen him in the clutch so far. He's usually been the player to go in first, the entry for Sangal on that Mach 10, but now he's got the great chance at this clutch. 1v3. He's going to check the angle, but Faven no scopes him close up. And that could be a lifeline for Sprout. 5 on the board. But Sangal have already won out the half, of course. Oh, Faven, now he's turned up. Close flick towards Soulfly with the help of Spiddy's flashbang as well. 3 toward Banana early on. Sprout are taking a little bit more aggressive control of this position now. Look like they wanted to stick around, but again, they'll have to fall back off of it. They're scared of losing this 5 versus 4. I don't blame them. It would be unwise to stick around when you have an advantage. But at the moment, I think Sprout are probably set up the best they possibly could be in this situation. Sangal just waiting out the time in this 4v5. Waiting for someone on Sprout to be a little bit overzealous, a little bit cheeky when they don't need to be. Now they'll group up toward Banana as a foursome. Will Faven and Riles be ready for this? They do not have an incendiary or anything to defend it with, only flashbangs. Actually, I tell a lie, they do have an incendiary, but it should be able to be bypassed. Molly's pull, so that's something, but Major has got this elevated position. He can just jump over the double stack and first orange as well, and he guesses where Riles is. Immediate guess from Major, and Sensei takes Spiddy as well on top of first orange. Yeah, it's another Sangal bomb site take that works out perfectly. Major's kill isn't really that much of a deal, to be honest. I mean, they usually have to be aware that there's a player toward quad. It's a guess. It's a correct guess. But the pick of Sensei, who hasn't had the best of games so far, to be fair. I believe that's only his 3rd frag. There it is, 3, 3, and 6. It's enough to seal the round. and warn Sprout away from the retake. Once again, trying their best to keep 2 AWPs into the next round. They managed to do so. And the scores right now, I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, it's actually pretty even, but that's because there's been so many Sprout CT saves toward the B side of the map that Sensei and Engine haven't really had a chance to do much killing, to be honest. Soulfly, the entry, of course, will be understandably the player with the most deaths, but also the most kills. And Paz is once again performing. Top fragging. And Paz, goodness me. Slax goes for that peek second mid with the AWP. A very common peek, but Paz knows his angles. He knows his crosshair placement. And he guesses Spiddy as well. Paz, man. Goodness me. Is there anything this man can't do? Cretty's at least in a good position. Gets one, but not the second. Actually, a really important trade from Soulfly. It keeps the round out of the Sprout hands. But of course, it is the last round of the half, so they're going to have to go for it with an AWP and an AUG. And only one defuse kit. Major's staring at this arch smoke. Soulfly even has the angle for Favren as well. He should spot the gun barrel first. Favren actually hits that no-scope close up and gets a second as well. This makes it somewhat interesting. Of course, on the AWP, it can be dangerous when it's just a one-hit headshot. But the most no-scopes are missed close up, and Sensei, he's the one to hit it. Favren does a nice try for sure. But that's Sangal with 10 on the half on the T side on their map pick. And that, for me, could easily be enough. Will it be, though? Remains to be seen. Thank you once again, everyone, for the follows and the support. I really do appreciate it. I think I actually have the highest amount of subs I've ever had, I believe. I think so, anyway. I mean, I had a couple of gifted subs on my birthday. But I do believe that at my highest ever sub count, which is around 33. So thank you, everyone, very much for that. I really do appreciate it. The follows, though, they're just as important. I've had plenty of those today. So, again, for those, I do appreciate it. Pazers has followed me. The one and only Pazers. You've had a great game so far, man. Obviously, I know it's not the real Paz. Relax. I'm joking. But, yeah, his KD is going to be dirty when this game is over. I believe he ends the half at around 13-6, something like that. And he finished us 2 on what? 39-13? 39-15? Something like that. Almost hit the 40 in that match. In regulation. Second half about to get underway. Sprout need a banger. They need a banger of a half here to keep this game going. And they're going to start off with 5 sets of Kevlar. That is curious. So it's going to be a fast play here without a shadow of a doubt. They don't have a flash. They don't have a smoke. They don't have anything. They just have bodies. And Body's ready to take duels. Paz, once again, he spots the first, just grabs Slacks before he makes his way round toward middle. They will take long, though, Sprout, and this could be a split toward the A site. Then they're up toward long. Do they decide to go toward Arch? It is open, but they will be walking toward 2 more Sangal players, defending toward B. Engine is in position with the P2000. What a beautiful first shot that was. And Soulfly with 2 more as well. It's only Spiddy remaining, and Paz hits another headshot. And Sangal, to say they're on form today, would be the understatement of the century. Major has been doing work. Paz has been the king. the biggest king on Sangal so far. Soulfly has been doing his entry work and his anchor work. Sensei's had a few solid rounds as well. This is just absolutely fantastic stuff. I'm interested as to why exactly Sprout wanted to go for the zero utility play, to be honest. I feel like on Inferno you really need something to work with when it comes to util on the T-pistol. Fortunately for Sangal, they will actually lose their first player there to the Glocks, but it's only the MP9 that they lost. Cressy, he goes right in and ruins Sensei Say a little bit further, to be honest. But in the end, they do clean it up. Only 2 players remaining alive, though. So for Glocks, to be honest, Sprout have had an absolute sweep there. To be honest, that's more than they could ever have hoped for with just Glocks. Thank you very much to Ecoma and Lboss for the subscribes, or for the subscriptions with Prime. I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. It makes this sort of stuff worth it. Obviously, I do these casts for practice. I do them to be noticed. I do them to interact with my audience. And that's, obviously a lot of motivation when I get the support that I do. So, thank you, guys. Sprout now have their 5 AKs. It's not my birthday today. It was my birthday a week and a day ago, actually. It was the 5th of September. But I had a nice... Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that Favrener just quite literally said, Slacks, I don't like you. I don't like your shoulder blades. I'm stabbing you in the back. Sprout start their first buy round with Slacks on nearest makes no difference, 40 HP. Up against MP9s and FAMASs and M4s, which can one-hit headshot him straight away. That is not the way you want to start a round. Well, it looks like they're ready to pounce toward Banana as well. There is a deep smoke which covers Slacks. There are still 2 players here. Soulfly's just jumping in. What on earth am I witnessing? Soulfly goes straight past the smoke and gets 3 kills. What about that? If anything sums up this best of 3 so far for Sangal, it's that. Soulfly, the new boy on Sangal, has just absolutely obliterated this first buy. Paz makes it even better, taking down Cressy, and this should be traded by Engine. It is. Goodness gracious me. The flash was spot on, but the fact he got through the smoke and behind the first player was remarkable. To get all 3 kills is even more. Goodness. As I said, if anything sums up this game so far, it's that. Absolutely untouchable. And he's going in for more with this MP9. Sprout down to Deagles. He's again bypassed someone. This guy right next to him. Does he go for it? He checks it anyway. Favin gets taken down. Soulfly on an absolute tear. You can see why Sangal have picked this guy up. He is nutty right now anyway. Of course, we had Enesan standing in for Sangal for a little while. And then they picked up Soulfly. And while I love my man Enesan, he is a great man and a fantastic player, you can see why they've decided to take Soulfly full time. Engine gets another headshot as well. Gets a little bit pinched by Slacks at least, so that's something in response for Sangal. Or for Sprout, sorry. Paz is still on the site. I mean, Paz. 20-8. 21-8. I don't know what to say other than just to count the kills. I mean, he just cleared it up there with 3. And this is one of the... Sure, the first map in the end was quite close. But this is one of the most biggest walkover performances from Paz I've seen in a long time. We know he can hard carry. We know he can hard carry. But This is... I wouldn't say above and beyond because we have seen it before. But this is the best for a good while. Sprout, have utility primed, and it's going to be used to good effect. It does sort of fake the fact that it could be middle. But Sensei is in position with the NWP toward Banana. There are 3 players toward B in the end, and that's a flick and a half from Sensei. He's been so quiet in this game, and really, for what it feels like in this series in total, that's only his 5th kill of the game. But that's just so sharp. And now Soul plays in position, traded instantly by Riles though, so that's good. And now Sensei is low HP. This should bait in Major, even if Sensei goes down here. But he'll fall back on that 4 HP. And possibly have even more work to do. 3v4 just for Sprout, of course. While Sangal is still on 14, you feel like that Sprout still have a sniff of a chance. But they need these entries. Major will be spotted and spammed down by Riles, is literally holding W. They know that Sensei's still here, and he actually gets another frag on the AWP. 3 kills on the round, 2 on 4 HP. He's now baiting out Stacks as well. Oh, and Sensei, monster! 4 on the defense, 3 while 4 HP. What a round from him. As I said, he had nothing to do so far this game, and he's only gone and got a 4K. And it puts Sangal up to 15. Again, something else that sums up Sangal's performance today. Just pure, unadulterated power, aim, and strategy. All combining for what truly is a fantastic performance so far. Sensei aggressing toward Boiler, looking for someone jumping in toward the balcony. Could catch Cressy if he works his way up toward middle, but at the moment it is going to be the B site, which is going to be the order of the day. Soulfly gets 1. Oh, it's a double peak, and he gets 2 alongside Major. Is this where the best of 3 ends? It's only Rolls and Cressy remaining, and they're locked behind the banana smoke, with Cressy now taken down by Sensei. It's all down to Rolls, and Sangal have put in what is possibly the most impressive performance of this season so far. They needed a win. They were 0-2 before this one started. This will be their first win of the season. Sprout were looking to even it up with Blink and perhaps Double Pony at 3-1, but Sangal clean it up to absolute perfection. And that is their series confirmed in what is